Hey everyone, thanks for coming in tonight. Happy Saturday. Hope all is going okay with you guys tonight. Hi replay viewers, thanks so much for coming in. And hey YouTube viewers, thanks for watching as well. I appreciate you guys being here. If you would like to join in the chat, you can go on to Periscope and search for Penguin and Fish. I'm here at 9:30 p.m. Central. So I'm kind of looking at this already, and it looks like we might be having the same kind of issue as yesterday. It's just really pixely Periscope all of a sudden. I'm thinking they might have done some sort of update, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes again here, guys. So I'm gonna flip you around. Hey there, everyone. Wow, that goes a lot faster too. Something's new with Periscope. We're gonna work it out. I don't know though. So here's some pencils. We have the blue guy and the yellow guy done, and we just have the red one to go. So I have it all colored, ready to go. This is one of our unfinished blocks from the Splendid Sampler Quilt Along. You can find out more at thesplendidsampler.com. We kind of had a free day today, so I'm catching up on some blocks. I counted the blocks. I am currently 12 behind. Not necessarily behind, but I have 12 unfinished ones, so man, I don't know. We're going to have some catch-up days for sure, because I don't know how else I'm going to get those going. But this one I think will get done tonight, so then I'll only have 11 unfinished until tomorrow when we get our new block. We get new blocks every Thursday and Sunday. So all right, guys, I'm going to flip you around, and we'll get going right away. I'm probably just going to speed through this as fast as I can just so I can get this block done for another finished block. If you guys are new here, my name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make lovely and quirky hand embroidery patterns and kits. I'm the author of Sew and Stitch Embroidery and a fabric designer, and I'm here every night at 9:30 p.m. Central. All right, guys, now's the time. I'm gonna flip you around and we'll get sewing. All right, here we are. Yeah. Periscope's having trouble focusing again. The quality of the video is low, even on my side here. Usually on my side it's perfectly crystal clear, but now it's, I don't know, they changed something. Not sure if I'm liking that. But alright guys, here are my fabrics for tonight. I had to actually look up an old YouTube video from the last time we worked on this project so I could remember what the colors were for this red one. Oh, and then the kitties for the background fabric. So let's get going right away. Thank you. Oh, I got the red nails to match tonight. It looks like. Funny how that works out. Okay, so we're paper piecing again, and I would go to my YouTube, which is Penguin and Fish Movies on YouTube, to look up some of the earlier times when we were working on this block, because I really get into the process of paper piecing on the start of this block. Tonight I'm going to just try and crank through this thing pretty quickly, so I probably won't explain things as much. Objective tonight is finish this block. So alright, I'm starting with A1. That's our darkest over here, so let's get going. You know what? I'm a little scared I might cut these guys. I'm going to put them off to the side. Alright, so I am going to cut a piece that's the size of A1 plus a pretty good seam allowance. I'm going to just press that fold out real quick. Put the iron here. Alright. So we had our power go out today, so that was pretty unpleasant. We were in the middle of working on my husband's short film that he's working on. We were working on the color, and he was in the middle of saving, and then all our power went out, which was just lovely. So we had a Menards like hardware store list, so we decided to just go out and run errands instead. But the power was out at Menards too, but apparently you can still shop their to check out. That's on their generator, which I thought was pretty smart. So we spent a good part of the day at Menards and then came home and was so tired. We both napped on the couch for pretty much the rest of the day. So I'm just putting a dab of glue on the back of that A1 just to hold this there for the time being. Again, I'm just really rushing through this tonight, so it's probably best to look at some of the older videos, to the first video for this block, to really get a sense of the paper piecing. I don't think he lost a lot of work. It auto-saves. Luckily, this program auto-saves every 10 minutes or so. But it was just a bummer because we were just starting to get on a roll. We're working on his color correction of his film, and it gets kind of technical and difficult. And we were having a lot of trouble with this one scene, really, for color. And we were just getting the hang of it, and then the power went off. So now we're going to have to start all fresh tomorrow. So he's in the process now. I'm going to press this one again too. He's in the process now of just getting his computer set up again, turned on, and all the hard drives turned on, and checking to see if everything's okay and all that. So that's a big waste of time and a bummer. But yeah, at least it's saved. That's good for sure. Yeah, I'm not liking how Periscope is focusing all of a sudden, which makes me think I'm not sure how much longer we're going to be able to play around with Periscope. I think that might be more incentive for me to get the Twitch up and running. My Twitch.tv channel, craft channel. So I don't know. We'll see if this goes much longer. I'm just getting a little straight edge here with the poor quality, but I am not liking it. And I'm guessing we're probably flipped too, because last night we were flipped quite a bit. All right, I need my postcard to fold in between A1 and A2. So my mom's been texting back and forth with me today. She got like 5 blocks done that she didn't get done, or at least 4 or 5 blocks done today. So she must have been sewing all day today. So that's pretty cool. She was saying that it's just been way too hot to go outside during the day. I mean, what their temperature there usually is like ours here in Minnesota, and man, it was, 90s and stuff yesterday, and with the like heat index and all that, it's, feels like 100 whatever, plus so much humidity. It's been pretty unbearable. I haven't turned our air, it got a little cooler here because it poured this afternoon. So we actually had the window open for a little while just because it was finally a little bit cooler outside, but it was so humid. And we even turned the air back on. We turned the air back on upstairs where we sleep because it'd be impossible to sleep otherwise. But man, oops, I gotta get my machine ready here. It's getting humid in here again. We'll definitely have to turn the air on before we go back to bed. I bet you it's hot pretty much everywhere right now, isn't it? I bet you a lot of you guys have horribly hot weather. Alright, I'm going to sew along the line. I'm excited that we'll get another block done, hopefully. Unless power goes out again. I wasn't sure. Oh, it's hot but not humid there in California. Yeah, it's really what does it for us here is the humidity. I mean, it becomes unbearable to even be outside because you just can't get cool. It's just, you just sweat, and that sweat has nowhere to evaporate to. It's just unpleasant. snip these edges right away. Very hot there in Southeast Ohio. Yeah, I have a feeling that we're probably pretty similar to you guys. Yeah, this whole center of the country area is just bad. Bad, bad, bad. Although it poured here today, so it did get a little cooler here. But like I said, our power went out, and that's unpleasant. All right, so you guys, I did that hydrogen peroxide thing on my iron. So look, it does look, I mean, it's clearly not completely clean. So I'm gonna try it again tonight, but I put hydrogen peroxide on just a towel like this, and I kind of just let it sit on the ironing board, and it did pick up a lot of darkness, a lot of the stain. So I mean, like if you guys watched last night's video compared to this, I'm thinking that this is much lighter. I mean, it's still pretty gross, but it's nowhere near as bad. So I'm thinking it does look better. So I'm thinking that did kind of work to some extent. I mean, it clearly didn't get everything out, so I don't know. I mean, this ironing board might be beyond repair sort of thing, but I don't know. I'll give it another try. I'll do it again tonight, see what we get tomorrow morning. But yeah, it is better. I feel like we're back to the old stains instead of all the new Splendid Sampler stains. There we go, start of our pencil. But yeah, so that did work to some extent. Maybe it's a thing where you have to do it within a certain period of time for it to really, really work a lot. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'll have to make one, though. I mean, this doesn't come off. This cover is, like, stapled on, which I could do, too. I could just staple a new piece of fabric just over the top. I mean, I suppose that would be the quickest and easiest way to do this. We have a little staple gun. Then I wouldn't have to deal with sewing or anything. I'd just have to cut out a shape and staple it. You know what? That's not a bad idea. The only thing is, I'd kind of like it to be a light colored fabric, but since it has these, you know, since it has these really dark guys on it, no matter what light fabric I put over the top, you're going to be able to see these through. So I don't know, maybe I'll do like a really fun, bright colored fabric. Like, I don't know, I have a lot of good solids. I could do like a bright purple or something. But yeah, it'd be nice if that was a hair cuter. But yeah, I think I could just staple. That'll be easy. I hadn't thought about that earlier. I think the brown is the burn starch. Yeah, it's definitely the burn starch, I think. Because it never used to get really that stained before until I started doing, where's my scissors? Right here. Until I started using this starch, then it really started to get dirtier. But oh well. An old, what's that? Oh, an old towel when you starch. Oh, that makes sense. I'm just gonna give this a little better straight edge. I don't really need to, it's pretty straight as is. Yeah, so maybe I'll put a pretty cover on it, or a pretty new fabric on it, maybe, next time I have a moment. And then maybe I'll try that freezer paper thing, where you put freezer paper on top of your board, and then just take the freezer paper off when it gets gross and put a new piece of freezer paper on. I think it might be a little weird to have that papery texture, but I don't know. It's kind of, I'm curious to give it a try, basically. So we'll see. I kind of want to try that. How are you liking to add an eighth? I mean, right now I'm using the add a quarter. I do like the add an eighth. I think it's going to work really well for the smaller pieces. I went back to the add a quarter for this one just because it's, the pieces are so big that I don't really need to deal with bulk, which is why I would use the add an eighth, just to reduce bulk, you know, if I'm sewing really itty bitty things. The only thing that was weird, I did do the add an eighth. I think I used the add an eighth for this first one. Yeah, And the only thing is that I felt like I didn't have much room for error, you know, for matching up my edges and stuff. Like if one edge moved a little bit, which it doesn't really, but in my brain, if one edge moves a little, then I don't have much leeway, you know, because I only have an 1/8 instead of a 1/4. So that's why I kind of switched back to the add a 1/4 just to make myself feel more comfortable. But otherwise, it works perfectly fine still. I think once I get back to you know what? Oh, good. I was thinking I had to go all the way to the bottom. I don't know if I messed these up, but no. Good. We're fine. I think once I do that balls in the air one again, I will switch back to the add an 1/8 for sure. You know, I'm a little worried tonight since I'm just kind of sewing. I'm not really kind of explaining the process so much tonight. I'm afraid I'm totally going to mess up because I'm wondering if the only reason that I've been able to do it is because I'm explaining what I do as I go out loud. So, I don't know. We'll see how it goes tonight. I'm hoping I can get this done faster than usual and not make a mistake. But already, I feel like I was on the verge of making mistakes, but I got lucky because of the large size of the fabric that I cut. So, I don't know. Maybe I should just still be talking about what I'm doing. But yeah. Here we go. We're gonna snip these. So far, I still have all my right sides together, so that's good. Almost didn't sew some things with my fabric right sides together the other day on that on yesterday's block. That would have been silly. I haven't done that in a long time. Yeah, so you know what? Maybe I won't give this another try, because I think it's still going to always be dirty, no matter what, I think. You know, it's still going to be this off-white, and, you know, I'm not wild about this ironing board, like, with these stars and stuff on. So maybe I will just, for sure, cover it with a different fabric and be done with it. I'm getting better at talking while sewing. Oh. Well, you know what? I think that's only because I only have to stitch on the line for this. Because last night I was pretty quiet during sewing still. I've been quiet sewing and trying to sew straight lines and stuff, but with paper piecing I just have to follow. I just have to stitch on the line. You know, like I feel like it's like coloring in a coloring book. All I have to do is stay in the lines. This time I just have to sew on the lines, you know? So, I can talk a little bit more. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. What's 4? Oh, I'm missing a fabric. I need this white fabric. Let's see. Let's grab it from that bin. Here we go. Like, why isn't that colored in? So that's a good reason to be coloring in your pieces here. Because I was just going to put it, if I wouldn't have colored it in, I would have made it this kitty fabric, and then, but it wasn't colored in here, so I'm like, why isn't that colored in with the kitty fabric? Because I missed a fabric. Alright. See, that could have almost been my mistake for the night. Ugh, the worst thing about this red nail polish, though, is that it comes off on everything. Yeah, New Year jet lag takes forever. That's apparently the case, right? I mean, it really does. I mean, it does take us a while just to get back in our routine. I mean, I first felt this week that I started to get things rolling again, but then with the heat and everything, it's just been tough. I don't know. I'm a complainer, I guess. Alright, I'm gonna just, I think this piece is gonna be plenty big. Today's the first time I got a reminder you were on Periscope. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. So, I don't know. I think Periscope's changing some things again, and maybe that's one of the deals. I forgot what you call this type of crafting. Oh, this is paper piecing, foundation paper piecing for quilting. And the project that we're working on is from the Splendid Sampler Quiltalong. And information on that is at thesplendidsampler.com. But all these blocks are free right now for the period of time that the sampler is going on. And it's going to go on through February, I think, of 2017 at least. All right. I'm speeding through things tonight, so if you guys, you're saying that you're coming in late and stuff, I'm trying to speed demon this one because we're finishing up the pencil block. We had our free day today. The last block, Thursday's block, only took 2 days to finish, which is awesome because we don't usually get a free day. We don't usually get a free day to finish up blocks like this, or I don't, just because I work on it just only in the evenings here. So a lot of the more intensive blocks, like the paper piecing and embroidery blocks and applique blocks, I don't get done before the new block is released, and I always kind of start the new block right away. So this is the only, I didn't see any sneak previews. Did anyone else see any sneak previews of the new block, tomorrow's block? I went through all my blocks that are unfinished, and I was saying earlier that I have 12 unfinished blocks right now, which are looming and looming and looming over my head more and more with every new block that's released. But I don't know, we'll get to them yet. I know 12 is up there. So this is the block that, compared to all the other blocks, I feel like I could finish in one day. And I wanted to get one more block out of my unfinished side of my block binder. And this is the one that I thought we could do it with. So my mom mentioned earlier, though, she's in here tonight too, guys, which is neat. But she mentioned when we were texting earlier that she looked up the designer for tomorrow, and it looks like the designer does a lot of whole cloth quilting, which is basically when you do a quilt that's just one piece of fabric, and then you quilt a bunch of really pretty designs in it, and that's the focus. The focus isn't piecing or anything because you just have one quilt. So that's, if the block's something like that, that would be pretty interesting. We haven't done anything like that yet in the Splendid Sampler. I have no idea if that's what the block's going to be, but that'd be pretty interesting. Haven't done that yet. I know that would be new to a lot of people. It would be definitely new to me. Pretty much. We attempted some of that free motion quilting a little bit in, what block was that? I forget. We did that. It had flowers in it. The flower basket one. We did some free motion stuff, attempted, and I don't know. It'd be interesting if we had another block like that. All right. There, we got 5 more pieces left. So, all right, A5 is another one of these. Wouldn't you need layers to make it work? That's what I was wondering too. That's my mom. Oh, you're sweet. But that's what I was thinking too when you mentioned that she does whole cloth designs. Like, wouldn't it be easier with layers? Because with that block that I did do that free motion on, the back of it was really kind of poor. Like, I would never be able to show that back, like if it was the back of a quilt. I think it almost needs that layers of stuff. So, well, and I'm curious to try. I'd like to do something with layers. But yeah, I'm thinking not everyone is going to want like a one poofy layered block within all these other blocks. So I don't, and we're completely just speculating that that's what the block is going to be. We have no idea. It might not be anything like that. Oh, yeah, this postcard thing is the best. Before we did the Splendid Sampler, I did, oh, I think you have it here yet. Oh, I can't, oh, Tiny Toffee Designs. So I did this paper piecing cup. This is by Tiny Toffee Designs. She has an Etsy shop with digital patterns for paper piecing. But I was talking to her, and she gave me this to try out paper piecing, and I've only done paper piecing once before. And I looked at some YouTube videos, and there was one that mentioned this postcard technique, and I thought I'd give that a try. And man, this postcard technique has totally made paper piecing so much easier than the first time I tried it, for sure. The first time I tried it, I folded all the pieces from the get-go so that I'd have all the folds. This way, I'm doing it as I go, and it's working fantastic. Versus, you know, an old school way too is you sew it, and then you when your two pieces are together, before you sew your next pieces, then you kind of fold this back and kind of trim it, and it can get really not fun. So yeah, this whole postcard has totally sped up this process for me and made it more precise and everything. I really love it. Oh, that's so awesome! Thanks so much, guys. Yeah, this is great. Oh, maybe we're embroidering a whole cloth design. You know, that could be an option. Oh man, we just did an embroidery that I'm not finished with yet though either. But that would make sense. Oh good, I'm so happy that this postcard way is working for you guys. I'm totally in love with it. Oh, the postcard is it, yeah. Oh look, here's a nice good chunk. This should work well. I like the postcard. Alright, I'm gonna just chop this little piece off here and we'll give it a straight edge, and I think we'll have enough. And blobs, yep, this is a full-on blob right here that we're doing. But I love that. You can use your scraps up. So I'm just gonna give it a good straight edge. So these dots are kind of on a line, and I'm not cutting this on the line, so my spots here are going to be a little diagonal, but I think that'll be kind of cute. All right. I just kind of want to do a double check because I'm a little nervous about this one. Oh, we're going to have so much space. Yeah, that's going to easily cover everything. Good. That's where I would normally do my little pin test. But I'm cutting big blobs tonight so I can avoid my pin testing. That takes up too much time and it's not fun. This is the fun way of doing it, just cutting big blobs. Oh my god, I am sweating. I gotta turn the air back on right when I'm done here. Get a grandma is tomorrow's designer. Just blob it. Yep. Yeah, so if you go to the blocks, you know, it'll say on the website, on the Splendid Sampler website, on the top nav bar, one says like blocks and bonus projects or something. If you scroll, it'll show all the blocks in a grid that are released already, and then all the other ones will say not released. Yeah, so I'm sewing, whenever it's getting to the edge, like I have this seam allowance around this whole thing, anytime it goes within there, I am going into the seam allowance because it's just going to make it a little easier. When I'm within it, within the design and not out into the seam allowance, then I only go right up to the lines. You know, here again, I went out into the seam allowance, and this next one, these pencil things here, I'm going to go into the seam allowance here. I suppose I wouldn't need to down there, but I'm gonna. You don't need to anyway, but when you're done, it's nice. Yes, and I do back tack. Some people say that you don't really have to, but I think I would definitely do it, because then I know that this isn't gonna start falling out, so I would definitely recommend back tacking. And I do it here too. I probably wouldn't need to do it way out on the seam allowance, but it's just kind of, I'm just kind of used to the back tacking. But yeah, in the interior stuff, I would definitely back tack. Yeah, and sorry, I'm not really explaining too much tonight. If you want me to, I can, while I'm doing stuff, I can say why and stuff a little bit more tonight. Otherwise, you can watch the first video for this. It's on my YouTube. Penguin and Fish Movies is my YouTube. Because this block is actually a block from, I think this is block 42. Yeah, this is block 42, and we just finished 46. One of those blocks I couldn't get done within the allotted time, so we're doing it again now. Wow, we're almost done with all our colors, all our red colors. I just have to do the pencil tip. I think I'm going to do the pencil tip in, this feels really weird, like I'm on, oh, weird. Okay, I think I might have, I think I might have gotten the wood underneath this, or the particle board, or whatever cheap stuff this is made on. I think by putting the hydrogen peroxide, I think I might have put too much liquid on. It feels like I got a bump in my board now, so I think I might have just warped my board. I'm like, why does it feel like I got 8 layers of fabric here? It's because there's a bump. So, might be time for a new little cheap ironing board. Those boards do warp. Yeah, so I'm kind of thinking that's what happened here, because all of a sudden I have like a weird lump in the middle here, and it's right where I like to press. So I'm going to have to scooch over here a little bit. I thought it was feeling weird. It doesn't even have any batting. I think it's that cheap. I think it's, you know, it's just one of these like $10 Target ones from a bajillion years ago. Yeah, so maybe and it's stapled down. Yes, it is from college, I think. And I think it was I don't even think I bought it. I think John's dad had it or something even. Oh, you made one today for about $4. So did you make it by having an old one like this, and then you just took all the fabric off and then put new stuff on? Because that would be kind of ideal. That I could do probably relatively quickly. Ooh, here's the part. Now we get to do the tip of the pencil. But dang, I didn't want that to get all warped. That's a bummer. I'm kind of... That just makes it another job I have to do. Oh, well. Why does this feel like it's this thick? And it is because the board's warped. Alright, I think I'm going to do this cute fabric for the tip. Just because it's the most used plywood batting. Oh, so you made one from scratch? That's pretty interesting. Yeah, you know what? I suppose I could just unscrew the legs on here. Oh, are they expensive? Dang. Yeah, because if I had a plywood, I could just unscrew the legs that are on here and reuse the legs, because I like that it folds up so it's flat. This I don't think I need a very big piece. Yeah, so a piece of plywood. I wonder if we have a piece of plywood hiding around the house somewhere. Just use a staple gun. Okay, we do have a staple gun. What? Are you serious? That's expensive. That is way more expensive. Wow, I cut a pretty dang straight edge there for freehanding it. I'm just going to use that edge. There we go. Yeah, we were just at Menards. I should have gotten something. I have an old one, but legs don't fold up. Oh yeah, see, that's what I like, because I can lay this flat if I want. I mean, it's not great, but I do like that I can do that. Yeah, I could just take the legs off and, yeah, get a little plywood, and then, yeah, the batting and all that. For the batting, would I need to get some of that iron-safe batting, or does would any batting work? I'm a little off the line. I want to scooch over. Oh, a TV tray. Oh, I've heard people doing that. Like, just get a TV tray and put some batting on it and stuff. That'd be kind of cute. Just 10% cotton. Oh, 100% cotton. 100% cotton for the batting. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have some of that downstairs. I'll have to look. Ah, I didn't want another project so quick, though. That's a bummer. Oh, well. It is Sunday tomorrow, I suppose. When we were at Menards, we got a ceiling fan for our bedroom, just because it's so hot up there. None of our air gets up there, so we have to put in a window air conditioner up there, and we hate doing that because then we can't have the windows open anymore and all that. So we got a fan. I mean, it probably won't be any good till the fall, but we got a fan up there to try out. So that's basically going to be the project for tomorrow. So I don't know if, or actually, you know, we'll probably work on John's movie again since we cut short today because of the power outage. Projects are stacking up, and then I still got 11 unfinished blocks after this one, so projects. No, I'm bummed about this, though. Alright. Oh gosh, I know it was so hot today. It actually wasn't as bad today here for us, just because it was pouring the entire day, so we had kind of rainy weather. Man, I really wish this focused better. Periscope changed that, though, it looks like. All right, 3 more pieces, then we're done here. Oh, actually, we're not done. I'm gonna sew the whole thing together tonight, too, yet. But we are cruising pretty quickly on this as far as time-wise. I think we're a little faster than we've been on the other two, so that's good at least. A6, A7. Stay. There we go. Okay, and a quarter. I love when I can cut all my blob excess off. I think that's the coolest. You have all this crazy blob excess, and with one cut, we have a perfect seam allowance again. You have several unfinished ones? Yeah. I was saying before that my mom caught up on a bunch of hers today. Like, she did 4 or 5 blocks today, which I thought was pretty dang impressive. Oh, there she is. Just joining again. Alright. I'm going to do this thing where I pretend that the edge that I need to cut, triangles are kind of goofy sometimes, so what I like doing is pretend that the edge that I need to sew along is the side of a rectangle, and I'm going to draw a rectangle coming off of that side. And that's how including seam allowance. So that's how I know I'll have a piece that will be able to cover this. So I'm going to just cut up to here, and you know what, I'm just going to cut this blob out. We'll go here and over. Oops, got that kind of funny. And then I'll give this a straight edge. So hot in the sewing room. Oh, gosh, planning some stuff downstairs to sew in the kitchen. Yeah. If I had to sew upstairs, and I didn't have any, like in our bedroom, and I didn't have a wall air conditioner there that we put in, there's no way, like, you wouldn't be able to be up there for more than 3 minutes without just keeling over. Alright, so this one I just want to do my little check as if we've sewn it. Oh yeah, we're plenty covered. Excellent. You know what? I'm going to cut a piece just like this for the other side right away. Missouri Star Quilt Company has a YouTube on how to make a tabletop ironing board. Oh, well that's interesting. I'll have to Google that. Yeah, because that'd be nice if this sat down lower. just on the table. That'd be nice. All right, I know this piece is going to be huge for what I need it for, but oh well. We're in Blob Town. All right, I'm just going to give it a straight edge. Actually, that's probably a good enough straight edge. That's going to be for the next piece. But this one, which is the straight edge, I think this is the one that I cut. All right, A7. Let's sew. Have we been flipped in the wrong direction this whole time? I'm curious, because we were having that problem yesterday. I'm wondering if it's the same today. Oh yeah, so we are. Ah, dang. So we are flipped. Okay. Boo. Then I mean, I know it's not my phone because it's turning up kind of foggy, like a little blurry on my phone here too, which it never did before. And hold on. And now it's all blurry, and I know it's not the phone because afterwards I checked and did like a little video that wasn't on Periscope, and it wasn't blurry. So I know it's not the phone, and I thought maybe that would be the problem, but nope, it's a Periscope update. Hopefully that gets addressed by them soon. I know, I mean, my big thing is that it's blurry on my phone, and if it's blurry on my phone, it means it's going to be blurry on the YouTube replay as well. That's what I don't like. So, because before, these would be perfectly, no matter what the quality of Periscope, they would be perfectly crystal clear on my phone. And for my YouTubes, my phone screen is what's being recorded. It's not actually the Periscope. It's a recording of my screen. And if Periscope is making my screen slightly blurry now, that means that the YouTubes are all going to be blurry now, which that's what I'm a little unhappy about. So, oh well. I still do want to try doing these live videos on Twitch. I've just not done setting all that up, just because I got a pile of other things to do and I need to make a space for it. But maybe I'll get that going a little bit sooner than I did before. All right. 2 more pieces. I didn't really sew that very straight, that last one, but ah well. So we already cut this piece. I know, this pencil block is really fun. I could see doing this again. Or this would be like the cutest present for like a teacher, turning this into a tote bag or something. And honestly, this is pretty quick. I mean, it's taking me past the amount of time, but it's basically, for me here, it's, I'm on about an hour, so about an hour per little pencil and then sewing it together. The Twitch, I will be, so my website for Twitch, which is completely not set up, you can go to and you can subscribe to it already. And I think it's like YouTube where you'll get, or it might be like, it's going to be like Periscope, where you get some sort of notification that, hey, so-and-so is live on Twitch. It's Twitch, so Twitch, wait, that sounds really weird. Twitch, yeah, .tv, so that's important. It's .tv and then /penguinandfish, and I believe that's my channel. So I know some people are preemptively following me there, and I have a mic now, I have a camera now, I just need a space to set it up in and finished. It's this whole broadcasting software thing that I'm still figuring out, but it's definitely going to go higher on my list now. Oh, but man, it's one of those things. I'm working on my fabric collection now, too, so that's kind of, and I'm helping John with his movie, and so I got some current event stuff that I need to complete before I can spend too much time getting the video thing working, but I don't know. Maybe I'll have to make it more of a priority if Periscope isn't playing nice. But I think the Twitch will be good. Although I think there might be ads on it, so I don't know. We're gonna give it a try and just see if we like it. If we like Periscope better, then we'll come back over here. Once I get it set up, though, I'll do both Twitch and Periscope for a while, just to do both of them and see what we enjoy better. And I might throw some more. I might do some more Facebook Lives in there and stuff too. You know, YouTube has its own live streaming thing now too, so that's another thing. I don't know. Whatever it is, I'd still like to continue doing these live things like this. I really enjoy doing it, but yeah, we need to get the platform working right for us too. And so far, Periscope's been fine, but you know, now if it's going to be blurry for me, I'm not liking that. All right, we have only one more to go here, and then we can sew the whole thing together, which would be awesome. Oh, this little red guy is cute, I think. This is the best part. Yeah, exactly. It's fun to be able to chat. So Twitch will be able to do this as well. So Twitch has a chat. That's why I'm looking at it as an alternative, because we can do what we're doing here. It's not as elegant, really. I suppose if I learn some coding, I can make it a little bit more elegant. But it will be there where we can all see what we're all saying, and we can all talk to each other still, because I think that's important. I mean, that's the best part of this, right, is that we can all chit-chat. This is the best when we get these. Yeah, we learn so much by interacting. Exactly. I mean, I've learned so much from you guys on all this. There is a phone app, and it's on the computer, so it's either. The computer way of watching is so much better than Periscope, but there is a, you can watch it on your, yeah, it won't flip at all. It won't, it's going to be completely different. It won't flip at all. It's going to be like a true video that I'm taking and stuff, so that we'll be able to interact with. It's going to be good, I think. One more up here. This is the best, though, when we put these angles on and then we can start seeing our little pencil come to life. All right, last one. When you iron is okay, but as soon, see, that's, yeah, I don't, it's because my phone is facing down and maybe it just doesn't like Periscope just gets triggered too quickly now when it's facing down. When I'm ironing, it's facing up a bit. All right, last one. Luckily on the YouTubes, they won't be flipping around, but the YouTubes are just a hair blurry now, which that's what I'm not liking. I'm gonna cut this blob here. That might not do me well. Let's go down here. Yeah, so I'm just gonna cut to about there and over. All right, I'm thinking this is plenty huge. Plenty huge. Probably a little too big, but ah well. I know for sure it's gonna work then when it's too big. All right, I didn't fussy cut a little kitty on this one, but one of the other ones we fussy cut one of the kitties, so that's okay. We can just do it on one. All right, last one. Red looped around funny. Using the postcard, add a quarter. Oh yeah, me too. The add a quarter, I was so skeptical about the add a quarter ruler. But it really has made things fast and easy, and it's taken out one extra thing that I have to think about. And that's why I've been really, really loving these paper pieced ones, and just paper piecing in general, because it takes out all the parts of the process that I don't especially enjoy with quilting. Like, it takes out the cutting perfect cut strips, and it takes out perfectly perfect quarter or scant quarter-inch sewing, because I just follow the line. And with the add a quarter and with the postcard and the add a quarter, it takes out the like having to measure my quarter-inch and be perfect on that, and really, you know, measure up my line, make sure it's all lined up. I don't even have to think about that. I just plop the thing on and cut. It's just all those little things that are kind of like, do I really want to do any of that stuff that comes with piecing and quilting? That paper piecing, this foundation paper piecing, just gets rid of all those dumb things that I don't like. Efficiency, yes. Oh, you're ready to tackle the dress block. That's awesome. So the dress block is one of my ones that is way unfinished. All I have done is like the bust part of it, the top of the dress. I have nothing else on that block done. So I was actually, you know, I'm gonna have to do one of these marathon days again, and I think I might have to do a couple. Well, I know I'll have to do a couple, but I think I might have just a paper piecing day where I do just work on all my unfinished paper piecing ones, and then have a day of embroidery, because I have a whole pile of embroidered ones, like maybe 4 now of embroidered ones that aren't done. And then I have a good 3 or 4 applique blocks too that aren't done. So we'll have an applique day too, something like that. I don't know. I gotta plan all this. Maybe once I get Twitch set up, we'll just have a whole Twitch opener, which will be a marathon of some of these things. That might be a fun thing to do one of these weekends coming up here. Some weekend in August, maybe. Alright, so we got all of this ready. I'm going to just do my last little trim, and I think for that I am gonna, well, yeah, I'm gonna use a normal ruler for that, just so I can get, wouldn't add an 1/8 ruler make the blocks the wrong size? No, the add an 1/8 ruler isn't going to make the blocks the wrong size, so I used the add an 1/8 here. All the add an 1/8 is going to do, here I can show you the difference. All the add an 1/8 is going to do is change your seam allowance. So here is, not the first week. No, it won't be the first weekend for sure. It'll be late August for sure. So here's with the add an 1/8. All it does is change the length of the seam allowance. So this is an 1/8 inch seam allowance, and this is a 1/4 inch seam allowance. That's all it's doing. This was done with the add a quarter ruler. This was done with the add an 1/8. The reason that add an 1/8 is good, not necessarily for this block, but for other blocks, like the that circle one, balls in the air. The pieces are so small, like they're minute. They're tiny little paper piece things like this big. Like they're smaller than a 1/4 of an inch in size. So it's making like 8 layers of fabric that we gotta sew between, not just the 2, just because the pieces are so small that we're stacking these seam allowances on top of each other. So that's when I would want to use the add an 1/8, because it's gonna reduce that layering and layering of tiny, tiny, tiny paper pieces. But these are bigger paper piece things, these pencils, so we don't really have to worry about it with this one. All right, I'm going to just trim. You know what? I'm going to use a bigger ruler. All right. So I'm using not the edge of the paper as my guide. I'm using the outside line here as my guide. I know. You know what? I think the blue one's my favorite. They're all kind of fun. I mean, this is a really cute block. I could see doing another one of these. I could see doing a really large one, like blowing up this pattern, and doing like a small baby quilt that's just 3 giant pencils would be pretty cute. I mean, you could just keep making pencils too. You could do a border of pencils, you know, or a whole row of a quilt with pencils. Just make pencils and make like 30 of these things, you know? That'd be pretty cute. Someone mentioned when we started this block that it would be pretty easy to turn these pencils into little rocket ships. And I thought that was a pretty cute idea too. Oh, they posted a cute pencil case with a zipper. See, that's pretty neat. I mean, you could really, you know, just make this and put a zipper on the top, and it's almost a pencil case. I think it's probably a little short for a pencil case, but I don't know, it might be good. Maybe extend the center a little bit, so you got like a little longer piece, or maybe just add a border. I would just add a border around this, and then get a zipper on there, and that'd be an adorable pencil case. For sure. All right. So I think at this point, I really could probably take all the paper off, but you can also sew it with the paper on, and I think that's actually what I'm going to do this time. I'm going to just follow this line, you know, putting the edges together here, and then just follow right on this line. And I'm going to do that again with the other one too. So I'm not going to take the paper off till we're completely done. So now we have to decide how we want this to look. If we want, oh, I cut that funny. Oh man, this wasn't long enough, I don't think. It'll get in the seam allowance, but I should have made this edge of this blue one a little bit longer. Oh well. Alright, so I could go like this or like this. I think I kind of like the blue first. I think we'll just stay with this. Alright, so let's do these two together first. I'm not going to pin or anything, I'm just going to match this up and follow this line. I'm actually probably going to go a little scant. So instead of going, you know, right exactly on the line, I'm going to just go right to the edge of the line. So I'll like kind of go along that, you know, just a hair next to it instead. So I can get that little scant in. That's going to allow for the thickness of the fabric in theory. Alright. And then I'll press this one open first, and then I'll move on to the next one. Luckily with this block, there's nothing to match up, really. All I have to do is, you know, stay on this line as best I can so that I can hit these corners. I suppose I could get my, let's do that. I think I can get my leaders in here now. Then I'm using less thread. I don't have to snipple that thread off then. Alright, so let's peek. It's cute. I like it. Yay, I'm excited. So let's press that to one side quick. And then we'll get that other one on. It's just going to be easier, I think, to get this flattish before we do the next piece. I'm just pressing to one side for the time being, but ultimately we might press it open. We'll see. All right. Now this guy. All right, little blue guy. I like the blue. All right. Here we go. Alrighty, I'm calling it done. Well, not actually. Done sewing, how about that? Yay, hearts! Last sewing! Oops, let's get this guy off. I think I'm gonna stay here and take the paper off too, because I would like this to be completely done. And until this paper is off, it is not completely done. But oh, it's so cute. I really do like this block. There's not a lot of pieces though on this, so I don't think taking the paper off is gonna take forever. And look, it's so cute with all the silly little cats that are popping. Look at it, this is just a pile of legs over here. And a couple little kitty heads popping on there. But oh, I like it, it's cute. I like the colors too, just like the nice primary colors there. Alright, I'm going to pick the papers out, and then we're calling it done for real. Oh, your phone died, bummer. Oh, you know, I'm gonna kind of miss the back drawing. This is kind of cute too. It's alright, I'm gonna start with the seam allowances. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me, guys, while we finish this up. It just feels good to get something off the list of unfinished blocks. I know we're not quite finished, but I'm finishing this tonight still. All these little papers. Oh, have a good night, Jean. Thanks so much for coming in again. I'll just be hanging out here till I finish taking the papers out. So this is where I think it comes in handy to reduce your stitch length a little bit, because then you have more little perforated holes, which I think makes it easier to tear all these out. But here, this is a neat part too, because this is where we see all our perfect seam allowances revealed. Like all those blobs that we made are now these perfect seam allowances, and you'd never know that we started off with like completely unmeasured blobs. I think that's cool. It's like one of the magic tricks of paper piecing. Definitely shorter stitch length. Oh, this is just printer paper, just normal photocopy paper. Nothing special at all. And it works perfectly fine. Some people get like special paper for it. And I know some people have used like a water-soluble paper too, so you can skip this part, you just dip it in water. I've never tried that, but that sounds like a viable option. But no, I'm just using normal, just cheap printer paper, what was in our printer. And because of the smaller stitch length, it comes out pretty easily, or easy enough. Oh, this is the little bit that I had glued down. Let's pull that off. There. So this will take me a little bit of time yet, but I still want to get it done. Oh, and then I might go for a walk. Maybe. I'm pretty tired, but I might go for a walk just because it might be cool enough and not rainy right now. The past couple days, we haven't been able to go outside really, except for in the evenings. Use the tracing paper. Came with the light box. Oh, tracing paper. Yeah, bet you that works nice. What I like about this is that I can just run it through my printer, so I can just print the design directly to it, and that's pretty nice. Oh, kid sketch pad that works well. Oh, friend, a grind. Yeah, I just like, anytime I don't have to trace anything is awesome. So I like that I can just print the design directly to this paper. All right, so I got one pencil done. Let's do this blue one. What problem is? Oh yeah, the trimming, the 8.5 by 11. Yeah. Yeah, that's why, you know, I don't see anything wrong with just using, you know, normal printer paper from whatever copier or printer that you have access to. Like, it's just, this is nothing special at all. It's just literally just little printer paper. Oh, the tracing paper goes through your printer. Oh, that's cool. I think I might have some 8.5 by 11 tracing paper. I'll have to check. Oh, the other reason that we didn't get this one done in time because I had my painting class. I'm like, why didn't I have another day to get this done? And it's because I have my painting class on Mondays. But my painting class is almost done, so I'll be back doing Mondays. Let's see, I think I have 3 more classes. So it's this Monday. I think the first week in August might be the last class. So after that, I'll be back here on Mondays. So hopefully we can get more of these blocks done on time then. What kind of painting? Oh, I'm taking a beginning oil painting class at the art school in town here. And it's just been so much fun. I completely, absolutely love it. And I want to get a little painting-y kit so I can paint outside and stuff. So I'm going to look in getting like a really small one of those. And I definitely want to do some painting on Periscope here. I was considering yesterday doing like try and do like a painting every day sort of thing that I scope. Yeah, that's why, yeah, oil painting, I've never like really oil painted before, except for I did an attempt on here on Periscope when Bob Ross, like there was a bunch of Bob Ross videos on like a marathon for a little while, so I attempted one of those, but it was clear from that I had no idea what I was doing. So then this class came up and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to take that, and I totally loved it. I knew nothing about oils, and now it's just like really, really fun. So I'm considering taking another one of them in the fall, but we'll see. But I definitely want to do more. So I was thinking of maybe doing like a teeny tiny painting, like a 5x7 or something, like a painting a day thing, and doing a Periscope on it, or Twitch, or whatever we come up with. It probably wouldn't be Twitch because that I need to be hooked up to a computer, but then Periscope or a Facebook Live or something. I don't think Facebook Live would completely work either. I don't know. I'll figure it out, but I'd love to be able to do that. What do you enjoy painting the most? Well, we've only painted, I'm only on my 3rd painting in the class. So I don't know. That's why I wanna try and start like a painting a day thing, because it'll just be a learning thing. So you'll get to watch me learn after my class. So I would if I filmed it, then I would just it would just be me experimenting, like, let's go outside and attempt to paint this, or, you know, I've set up a little still life, let's try and paint that today, and just do kind of like a painting a day thing. Oh, I like art stuff. But yeah, I went to school for graphic design, and I did some illustration and that sort of thing, but I always wish I took a lot of different classes when I was at school, but I always wish I would have done some painting stuff, so I'm super happy that I had the chance to take this class. But yeah, it's definitely something I want to pursue a little bit more, and I thought that'd be a fun exercise just to try and do a painting a day and film it with you guys and stuff too. Then you can see me be super bad to start out with, and then try and get better or play around. Like, it's all, for me, you know, with this quilting and stuff too, it's all about experimenting and trying new things, and that would be good. Like, a good time to start with the painting is like, okay, all we've done so far is paint some still life, so let's try and paint a still life, but let's now, okay, well, for tomorrow's painting, let's attempt to paint outside. I've never painted outside. Let's see what the pitfalls and good things and bad things about that are. Or, you know, today let's attempt to paint someone's face or something. You know, that sounds super scary to me, but, you know, so I'll just do one every day, and I'll film it, and we can see what, you know, the direction that I end up, like, going like the best, you know, doing landscapes or still lifes or whatever, or just abstract or whatever. Yeah, it's just, I think it'd be a fun thing to just play around with, and then guys can see when I totally mess up because I have no idea what I'm doing, or it just turns into mush, and I don't know. Then I can learn from that and get better with the next one or something. But I thought I'd like to try and do a daily thing, although that sounds pretty daunting right now, and I don't have all the supplies for it yet, but I'm going to just press this, and then we'll be done for real. But I don't know. Playing around with that in my head, I think that might be fun. I'm going to press this open. You know what, I'm not going to bother. I'm going to press them outward. I don't like pressing seams open. I always burn myself. This isn't actually too bulky, this block, so I've got way bulkier blocks, so we're just gonna press to either side. Kind of pressing to the dark sides. Just kind of pushing the seams open a little. Yay, it's much flatter without all that paper in. And there we go! Here, I'm gonna lay it down here again, and we'll just quickly measure it just to see if we hit that 6.5 inches, and I don't see any reason why it shouldn't be, because it was paper pieced, which means that everything's pretty exact. Yeah, we're perfectly fine. I've lost a little bit up here, but I don't think that's anything to be worried about. So, woohoo! Black done! Now I'm only 11 behind, guys. But that's still good. Another black finished. All right. So I'm gonna flip you around and I'll show it to you, just the size, like in person. Yeah, I mean, it does this weird crossfade now too, and it I don't know. You guys can see me turning it down, but here we go. Finished block, yay! Done! So, alright guys, thanks again for coming in. I'm so happy. This one is cute. I like this block a lot. I don't know. I'm going to have to make a list of blocks that I want to make more of when we're done with all these Splendid Sampler blocks. But, alright, thanks again for coming in tonight. It's a new block tomorrow. We have no idea what it is. I'm excited to see. And we'll get going on that. We'll get started on that tomorrow night at 9:30 Central. So this video will be on YouTube at Penguin and Fish Movies late tonight probably. And it'll be good up and running tomorrow morning. And then new block tomorrow. So thanks. Have a great night and have a great rest of your weekend, guys. See you later.